Welcome back to PJ Chen Design. This is PJ. Today I would like to show you how to repair and edit a mesh object in the Rhino 3D software. Are you ready? Let's get started. Although editing mesh is not my favorite things to do in the Rhino 3D software, but we do have a lot of mesh tool that we can play with for some simple editing job. Today I would like to show you is by changing the ring shank to be a bigger size for this mesh ring. That's starting from the scratch. You can open the mesh toolbox, click on this icon, or you can go into the top drop-down menu. Either way will be fine. Since I'm going to do the demonstration, I'm going to bring up this and tagging right here. So all of this are the mesh tool. What we're gonna do with the ring on this one, you cannot just scale up and down, and then we don't have an original nerve to change it. So the way we are going to do is we're gonna cut this as close as to the design on the top on the ring shank here on both sides, and after that we're gonna rebuild the entire bottom, and we also need to fit the top part, follow the ring shank for a bigger ring. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna coming into the top, and let's draw a small box. It doesn't have to be big, as long as it's bigger than your ring shank, and that will be fine. And I'm going to make it something like this. I'm gonna position this box as close to our ring as possible, and then I kind of need to tilt it to find an angle that will fit it the best. So in this case, I'm going to have something like that. If this is too wide, it's going to cut into the bow tie. I'm going to make it as thin as possible. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna create a cutting tool right here and get it really close like this. Maybe moving out just a little bit. Alright, so try to get it close but not cutting to the bow tie. And maybe sometimes you just need to tilt it a little bit. So maybe we wanted to do something like this. Something like this. Alright, so you take your time to find the way that you're getting really close. Or maybe we wanted to do 1D scale, make it a little bit wider, and then using the move command to move it to the left a little bit. Alright, so my goal is not cutting into the bow tie again, and then may want it to moving out again. So get it as close as you can. I'm going to stop messing around here. And then once we have that, actually going to, let's take a look at the front view. Actually going to turn this one into the mesh first. So we're gonna use the mesh tool, and you can click on mesh from the surface, or it's actually right here, mesh from the surface or poly surface, and we click on it. You don't need a lot of a polygon, as long as they are meshed, that will be fine. So I'm just gonna pick fewer polygon and click OK. And then we can just delete or hiding this poly surface. Now if I turn everything into the ghost view, and that's what you're going to see. Alright, since this is a symmetrical, so we are going to mirror to the other side and have something like this. Alright, and then we are just going to use, under the mesh, you have a mesh boolean tool, and in the mesh boolean tool you have this mesh boolean difference. So I'm going to use a mesh boolean difference and pick up the ring first, and then pick up those two cutter and hit enter. So now they are cutting into two sections, but when you select them, you select all of them, right? So even though you think, oh, maybe they are grouped, you try to ungroup it, it is into one piece, right? So what you wanted to do is you want to explode it everybody. And once you explode it, just go ahead to delete the one on the bottom. On the top right now is like tiny little meshes. Let's go ahead to join back together. You want to double make sure it is a closed mesh. If it says it's an open mesh, maybe I accidentally deleted some faces. Let's take a look on where it is open. So that's coming into the analyze. You got edge tool. You're gonna show edge, and this is right there. Oh, I was doing another demo, so I make that open. It's a good opportunity. I'm going to show you how to fix it. You got this fill mesh hole, and then you're gonna click on this one and just click on one edge and it will close that mesh. If you have any tiny hole that you can use that. Now we have closed mesh here. All right, we're gonna creating a ring, and this ring gonna be a little bit bigger, so maybe it is going to be 22 millimeter, super big. All right, and then we want to have this one moving up to here. As you can see, then if I do that, I'm going to have that much of a gap there. So what we wanted to do is move it close to the center as possible, to the top of a ring, and we want to use the bend command. So you have this one and you got bend right here. In the bend command, we can snapping into the center right here, and then we're gonna bend it up, but we want to both sides equally. So coming into the top here, in the option we have a symmetrical. Now it's equal no, we want to equal yes, so then it will fly like this. All right, so we want to get it close to the ring shank as possible, then we get something like that. Okay, I think that's pretty close. The second thing is how we're gonna make this transition nicely. You might need to spend a little time to make it pretty, but the idea is like that. We're gonna making a cross section first for whatever ring size you want them to be, and then you are going to move it back to the center. So that's creating the ring shank first. I'm going to come into my perspective to show you. We're gonna do the sweep one rail. You got this rail, you got this cross section, and you hit enter. Right, then you got this ring here. Apparently this is too fat there. If you want the bottom to be so fat like that, that's fine. We just need to have another cross section. But where do you need to have a cross section? We need to trim this ring first. So let's go ahead to maybe draw a line right there. And since it's going to be symmetrical, so I'm going to mirror that to the other side. And we're gonna pick up this one as well, and let's go ahead to delete this one in the middle. Okay, once we delete it, we're gonna have this ring ending at this location, and see if that is a place you want them to be end there. If that is, let's go ahead to duplicate these edges right here. And then we no longer need this ring shank. That is just helping us to find this curve. So I'm going to hiding this guy first, and then you can see better. So ideally, this is a little bit too tall and maybe too wide. So I'm going to 3D scale about this curve and snapping here to here and just bring it down a little bit. All right, I'm going to also turn it back on the top portion that we have and see if this curve is hiding inside. Let me mark them into the red color. It's easier for you to see. So it is not hiding inside, so I might need to get it a little bit more thinner. So we're gonna do one more time. This time I want to do 1D scale. So with the 1D scale, I'm going to bring it back. As long as it's hiding inside, that will be fine. So I'm gonna bring back something like this. All right, so now I just have a little bit sticky out. So it's up to you if you just want to smooth it out with your file or a rubber wheel a little bit after casting. All right, if that works for you, let's give it a try. We are going to use the sweep one rail. This is your rail, and you're gonna go from here to this red one here. Hit enter. And then we got this ring shank. Double make sure if that worked for you. All right, I still have this a little bit, but after casting, you can smooth it out, right? If you don't, I do wanted to show you one more things here. I'm going to have this one mirror to the other side first. Once you mirror and just join it, and then we can simply just cap it. All right, so now this is solid. I'm going to turn in this into the red color so it's easier for you to see where it's sticking out. All right, so our mesh here is sticking out. I wanted my mesh to go in. In fact, this could be easily done after casting. You just grind it off. But if you want it to be perfect on the CAD, what you can do is you can use Cage Edit. With the Cage Edit, you're gonna choose the first one, bounding box, and then we want a coordinator to the wall, and then you want to ask count for a little bit more, maybe 20, and Y count I'm going to stay with the 10 and Z for 4, and then let's hit enter. So you have all those points right here. So let me turn it into the wireframe, is easier for you to see. This area where it is sticking out, so we're gonna pick it out here, and we're also going to pick it up. Let me zoom in a little bit more here, and those 4 points. Right, those are really close. And then what I wanted to do is I do not want to touch the bottom, so at the front I want to deselect it by holding the control and select them. So what we wanted to do is I wanted to 1D scale down to move it inside of the ring shank. All right, so then you can see now it's hiding inside. And if you take a look on the render view, you're going to see now this one is sticking out. Maybe I make it too low, but this is very easy to smooth it out. So that's the way that you can tweak it. You can tweak it with the Cage Edit. You can trim it off, and you can fill mesh hole if you find any holes on it, and then put in a ring shank, new ring shank. Once you have this new ring shank, you can always have the new ring shank and turning into the mesh. This time I want to have a more polygon, and then you can have this mesh and this mesh using the boolean, mesh boolean, and then you can turn them into one piece. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you wanted to learn more about Rhino 3D software and how to transfer a 2D image into 3D model, I have a free webinar to show you 6 different ways to transfer the 2D image into 3D model. The link is in the description below. It's completely free. I hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next.